Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm actually looking on my phone for something that will help prove what just happened. So let me just see if I see it. Today was today was weird. Today was weird. It was honestly pretty weird. And so I can't even find it. Oh, I can't even find it. All right, so we're gonna do it without it. Okay, well, it's been interesting. It's been interesting. So let me do the introduction first. Welcome to the Be Your Own Hero Show. It's kind of dark in here, isn't it? All right, we'll make do with it. Anyway, welcome to the Be Your Own Hero Show. Hero is an acronym. It means help. Oh, let me do the second acronym. Do Reverend Mel's acronym. High emotion radiates overflow. High emotion radiates overflow. Gotta use that one, especially when I'm not feeling so good. It helps me to use that affirmation. All right, so that said, I am your host. I am Sacred Rights. I am a professional motivational speaker, and I am an author. And I am an author. I want to make sure I got that out clearly. So those are the two things that really rip my soul now. The fact that I am a motivational speaker, and the fact that I'm an author. And those two things I'm building towards. All right. Shout out to New Thought Media Network for allowing me to work at this. And when I say work at this, I'm referring to the fact that I have been working for the past 9 months under quarantine. Is that a word? Is that a word? Yes, a word. But was it appropriate? No, not quarantine, but I've been working through my issues with having had a stroke, because there are lots of things that I talk about and some I don't talk about, to be honest, about ways that my stroke has affected me, and I have come to use many workarounds, and I hope that you stay with me, help me work through these um, these errors and these faux pas and all these things that I'm doing to help work through having a stroke. All right. And so last thing, I'm not a personal trainer nor my financial advisor. So if something I say sparks something in you, go find help immediately and help this channel, this information grow. Help it grow. Help it grow. All right. So is that all my introductory stuff? Yes, that's all my introductory stuff. Okay, so now oh, wait a minute. I didn't say the month and the time. Oh, I didn't say any of that stuff. All right, well, today is Friday, and this is what day is today? It's Friday the 12th. Friday the 12th of 2023. All right. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get into it. So I want to start off by reminding you of this poem. It could be a poem, but let me just show you what it is. This is this affirmation. I need to do this affirmation every day so I can get it to be a part of my worldview, right? And hopefully be a part of your worldview too. So here we go. Twice. Let's do it twice. I am so happy and grateful to be a multi-millionaire in every area of my life. Ashe. I am so happy and grateful to be a multi-millionaire in every area of my life. Ashe. So again, just really getting ourselves to feel it, so that sorry, so that when something happens out here in the world, we'll be ready with that affirmation, ready to go. So that's why I'm doing the quotes early. Okay, now I think I'm ready to get it. Oh, Let me do the dice roll challenge. Let me do dice roll challenge. Here's my dice. Here's my dice. Dice roll challenge. Here comes the dice man. Here comes the dice man. Here we go. Fell a long way. Fell a long way, but the number is 4. The number is 4, ladies and gentlemen. Number is 4. So for those of you who are still pulling money out daily, on a daily, and putting that someplace, putting that money in someplace else where you can invest it, I greatly advise you to do that. So take that $4 out of the places where you would typically spend it. You would typically leave that money and take it out and put it into a place that's earmarked for investment. Because we always say we don't have enough money to invest. We don't have enough money to invest. Okay, so let me say what's up to the people who have checked in, and then we're going to get into this show. We're going to get into our Feed King. Feed King is letting the world know. Feed King is letting the world know. So those of you that are checking in because Feed King invited you, hi, I'm Sekou, and I'm your host. All right, so good morning, Hero. Good morning. And let's see. What else are you saying? Invites. 10 months? Has it been 10 months? Oh, wow. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, okay, so 10 months. 10 months, wow. Yeah, it's taken me a little bit of time to get used to. But all right, it's been 10 months. That means I've had a stroke 10 months ago, and I'm still working past the things that have helped me and sometimes hurt me, but a little bit of both helped me figure out how to do this thing called life in a different way. All right, working through aphasia. Yes, aphasia. I was trying to bring that word up today. Aphasia. Thank you, Fee. All right, so, what's this? I'm so happy and grateful to be a multi-millionaire. Yes, in every area of my life. Yes. Show us the money. That's funny. That's also Fee telling us to show us the money. All right. Okay, so, all right, Fee, it's funny that you're the one hitting me with all the comments today because this has to do with you, really. So first of all, Sophie is my girlfriend, in case you don't know. So I woke up in the middle of the night, like 4 o'clock in the morning. I was like, oh, what am I doing up, right? And so I cannot tell you why I made the decision that I made. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Okay, sorry about that. So my point is, I woke up at 4 a.m. and had no idea why I was waking up at 4 a.m. And then I had no idea why I did what I did. So I sent a text to Fee, and then I went into my Amazon Kindle app looking for books. Right? Like that is not something I do. Not something I do at 4 o'clock in the morning. Even if I is something I do during the day, it's not something I do at 4 o'clock in the morning. But I did. And I went very quickly and ordered this book. And I was trying, as you saw me at the beginning of the show, I was trying to find the original title. And I think it was The Richest Person in Babylon. I think that's right. The Richest Person in Babylon. But regardless, I went right to this book. And then I remembered that I talked about this book on the show a while ago. Wow, that was before I had a stroke. So more than 10 months ago. And I started thinking about remembering that this book was written in a very language heavy way, like kind of like the Bible. And because of my ability to read is less than what it has been. So that's an important point. So let me hinge that. So my ability to read has been less than what it has been. But I am grateful that I have my ability to read, because when I first came home from the hospital, I picked up a book and I expected to read it, and it was not cooperating. I was like, what is happening? Yeah, the words were jumping around, things were interfacing with other things. Like I could not get the words to sit still. And so that was really challenging. That was really challenging. I mean, yeah, that one scared me a lot. So I'm grateful for every opportunity I have to read, right? Now, I still have some trouble here and there. I still like might read something and not quite understand it. I have to go back and read it again. There's a lot of extras that I have to do with reading. And so when I say read, I say it including all the new things that I have to include into my life of reading. So anyway, I zoomed into this book, and then I remembered that, as I said, the language was very heavy. Language was very heavy. It was very Bible-like, and given how my facility with language has been like this, I could not read it well. It was too hard. So I looked to see if there was a more user-friendly version of the book. This was all, 10 plus months ago. This was all a long time ago. And I found out that there were. And I had downloaded several episodes, several different packages, I guess. Like they're little shortened packages of like a couple of pages here, a couple pages here, a couple pages here. And each of them was by a different author. And I have them all on my phone, so I can remember this research that I did. And so this morning at 4:00 in the morning, you gotta understand, 4:00 in the morning, I was just like, I don't know what inspired me to go look at this book, right? And I picked a version of the book that was one of the versions of the book that was better, but more user friendly, right? And so this is the book. This is the version I got. The Richest Person in Babylon. Can you see that? There we go. The Richest Person in Babylon, right? And I clicked order. Now you got to understand, those of you that have a Kindle app understand that ordering things on Kindle has become much more challenging of late. You got to get off the app. You got to go to Amazon.com/ebooks. You got to go and order it. Like this, it's become a process where you used to be able to just click, oh, I like this book, click, done, right? And so I had to go through this process again at 4 a.m. At 4 a.m. I can't get over it. So anyway, I tapped this version and I downloaded this version, The Richest Person in Babylon. I think they got me because he said call them person instead of man, instead of richest man in Babylon. And then I started reading and I fell asleep reading, right? And later on, Fee woke me up when she was saying, hey, it's time to go running. Make sure you go running today before your show. And I was like, oh man. I don't know. I felt tired and I felt like I heard rain. And I was right, I heard rain. And I was like, okay, let me read something before I get myself up. So I started reading this book early this morning, The Richest Person in Babylon. I started reading The Richest Person in Babylon, right? And I even reread what I read last night to kind of re-affiliate myself with it. So I'm reading from scratch the book. And don't you know, I was still reading when Fee hit me up. It's like, okay, you got 10 minutes or 13 minutes to showtime. I'm about to get my things and get ready for your show. And I was like, what? What? The time went like that. Time went like that. I'm still dressed. I've got my headphones on. I'm ready to go out the door. But I just kept reading a little more and a little more, a little more, a little more. And I think there's a couple things there. There's a couple things there in what I have to say. So first of all, God's got your back. God's got your back if you're willing to listen to him. If you're willing to listen to him, God's got your back, right? Because I could have made a different decision for him. I totally could have made a different decision, right? And I could have said, oh, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. But knowing that God's got my back is a great feeling. It's a great feeling, right? And so that's number one. Number two is you got to be open to how God responds to your prayer. You got to be open to how God responds to your prayer. Because Pete and I did a shortened prayer yesterday. She and I got on the phone. We did this shortened prayer. And I have to say that this is the answer to my prayer, right? And it doesn't look anything like it. It doesn't look anything like what I would expect, but it happened to be because it was, right? So let me get to the third thing. Third thing is I've been having great stress and strain regarding money. And money was a little bit of my prayer yesterday. And to have me pull up this book and go and dive into it was really deep. Because this book, the original book, the original version of in heavy language, has been on my phone for years. For years, literally for years. And I don't know where it went in my mental LoJack in terms of what happened to me after the stroke. But it all came back to me at 4 a.m. Right? And then I came to this book. I started reading it. And let me tell you why I started reading it. Let me tell you why I was like, what? Let me just read some more. And let me explain why it would be interesting to you. So essentially, this book is about Babylon, right? And it starts off with this person who's making a chariot. And his homeboy comes by and is like, hey man, let me get $50 until payday, and I'll pay you back. It's a common phrase that they've exchanged many times before. And let me hold some money until payday, right? This time, the chariot maker has a different response. It's like, man, I ain't even got it. He's like, what? You ain't got it? Nah, I ain't got it. And not only do I not have it, I don't know how I'm going to get it. He's like, what are you talking about? There's a chariot right there that you haven't finished building yet. So yeah, I don't know if I feel like building it. And he's like, what? You don't feel like finish building the chariot? He's like, nah, I don't feel like it. Because no matter how big I make these chariots, no matter how special I make them, they just get paid the same amount, and based on that small amount they get, I end up in the same spot, letting you borrow money till payday, or me borrowing money from you till payday. One of the two. We each borrow money from each other to make it till payday. When are we going to experience the luxury that we see all around us? Right? Right now, this is something that relates to me because maybe you haven't had this experience, but I've had the experience of looking around like, what do you do? What do you do? Like you see the gross, the things that come out of them having money, and you want to know, like, okay, what do you do for a living, right? It's the same kind of thought exemplified in this book. It's like, hey man, what do you do? Because I'm not doing it. I'm not getting the same results that you are, right? And so in this book, the chariot maker says, like, let's go ask somebody. Let's just go ask somebody, right? And his friend's like, you know what? That's a good idea. Let's go ask somebody, right? Now, this is important to me because I just given Fee this advice. Like, oh, Fee, you got some friends, they're going on vacations. You should ask them where they get their money, right? And I made that suggestion because I have been doing the same. I've been asking everybody that I come in contact with about how they got their money. And this is brand new to me. This is brand new to me. This is not something Seku's ever done. But I've been asking people, hey, how you get your money? Hey, how you get your money? And what's interesting is, that this book, let's see, it it fixed itself with something that I've been hearing from people, right? And so this is what I want to do. I want to read you a little bit from the book and see if you catch it, right? Okay, so at this point in the book, they're listening to this friend of theirs that they've gone and met with, and the friend is like, yeah, sure, I'll tell you, because the friend, oh yeah, I forgot this. The friend went to the same schools, no inheritance, nothing extra special, and all of a sudden, the friend has done lots for himself in terms of finance, and they're like, how, right? So here we go. Let me ask you this. If you kept for yourself 1/10 of all you earn, how much money would you have in 10 years? Right? Let me see. Did I read that right? Let me ask you this. If you kept it for yourself, 1/10 of all you earn, how much would you have in 10 years? Okay. So his response is as much as I would earn in 1 year, right? Now, it's interesting because you have to save. I mean, that's the bottom line. You have to save aggressively, but save, right? Because if let's use a 10th, right? Let's use a tithing. Let's use tithing as an example. So taking 10% out. What you do is you take 10% out of every money that comes to you. Every bit of money that comes to you, you take 10% out and you save it. You save it where no one can get to it. And you leave that money sacred. Like we did with the dice roll challenge. That $4 should be sacred now. It should be sacred. Once you move that money, it should be sacred, right? And then once you start doing that, you'll notice that you will still be able to function without that dollar, without that 10%, because you won't notice a difference. As long as you got money coming in, taking aside 10% and setting it aside, you won't feel it. You won't feel it. I'm speaking from experience because I know, because I've been experimenting with it during the pandemic, that I've been experimenting now. Like, once you get yourself used to it, and better to have it on automated, sometimes an automated service where it automatically goes out, so it happens without you having to do anything. That's the ideal. But even when you don't, and you move the money a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, it it creates its own space, right? And that space becomes its own space for you to build, for you to grow, for you to earn your money. Right? So here we got this student who's been the same as them, and he's telling them now that they asked how he made his money. He said, this customer came to me and told me that I needed to save 1/10, right? Saving, savings. And then what happened was, as soon as he started building money, he started saying, oh, shoot, I got some money. I could buy this, I could buy that, I could buy that. Yeah, right? So he had to caution himself. He said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. What he did do is he gave his money to someone to buy jewels. But the person he gave money to buy jewels to wasn't a jeweler, right? So you already know that's going sideways. So that went sideways, he lost all his money. But he was still in the habit of setting aside 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%. So he was able to reacclimate his money very quickly, right? And so basically, what I'm saying is that the secret is no real secret. The secret is we have to set aside a small amount of money that comes into us. Small amount of money, no matter what it comes into us as. Save 10% and put it to the side. 10% put to the side. 10% put to the side. And let that money grow undeterred, right? And what I've also suggested is putting that money into the stock market, because unlike I was taught, unlike the world has us believing, the stock market is much less damaging, much more. It's much easier than one would think. Because now it's just a regular part of the conversation for me now. Regular part of the conversation with me and my friends. Because like I can remember when I would say nothing about the stock market, right? But now it's just part of what we do. We're talking about buying Starbucks stock, right? We're talking about buying Starbucks stock like it ain't nothing. Like it ain't nothing, because it ain't nothing, right? If you are a Starbucks drinker, you should totally be buying their stock. You should totally be buying their stock. So that as you pay them, you invest in them, right? So you get a piece of the pie, not just a piece of whatever you bought that day, right? Okay. So I think that's it. Like this book, this book got me. I was right up until Fee texted me like, "Oh, you time to do your show." I was like, "What?" So I haven't done anything, but it's because I got caught in the book, and to have someone so different relate the things that you've thought about to you is really just a good feeling. So to bring it full circle, like it's helping me believe in what I've been doing, right? It's helping me believe in what I've been doing. That putting aside a little bit, no matter how small, because DoorDash money, I've been doing DoorDash off and on for years. And DoorDash money is a small amount of money. And it always made me feel like, well, maybe later I'll spend some money. But no, you take a piece, 10%, 70 cents, 70 cents, $1, $5, whatever it is, you set aside. You set aside where the sun can't touch it. Put it aside. Put it aside and invest it. And for the sake of the show, invest it in the stock market. Invest in the stock market. Oh shoot. It's already, oh man, it's already overtime. It's already overtime. Wow. I really got caught up. Well, let me just close out, show you guys a book. The book is The Richest Person in Babylon. The Richest Person in Babylon, right? And I got into it. I recommend to everyone that they pick up The Richest Person in Babylon by Charles S. Clausen. Get that book. Because, now I can't say anything more. I'm already way past overtime. All right, so shout out for you for being here. And I guess you'll see me. Oh, you'll see me Tuesday. Because all right, last thing. What I've decided to do is take Mondays off. So Mel King, Rev Mel, and I are both taking Mondays off. We'll still have air an episode, but we won't be live. Because for me, I need to watch and see what I used to do so I can understand what I used to do before. All right. And so Fridays, I'll still continue to do my show. All right. So Tuesday through Friday. All right. Next week. Okay. Now I'm way over time. I'm sorry. I got caught up. I got totally caught up. I got caught up in this book, which is telling me the truth. It's telling you the truth too. Set aside 10%. Do it now. Do it today. All right. Later. Bye, folks.